it is a very rough spot for them. It is rough. 14 apiece, and they have one AK-40. They'll have two. Bonnie's got 4100. Still have two AK-47s and a bunch of pistols. But it's an interesting decision because it's been so hard for them to win one round here or there on a full buy, and they've chosen to go with this.
Maybe it's about the power of speed with those pistols. That could make the difference, but they aren't going for a full-out rush, which makes sense. And, you know, you don't want to run into the counter grenades. You can see here, just pre-Molotovs and so on from Vega. They know the money's broken for G2. They know that G2 are desperate, that they may do anything. And they're giving them the respect that they deserve as top-tier players and a top-tier team. But can G2 do it? Here they push in through the flames. Looking good here for Vega, though.
Well, this is quite contained. The hazmat suits are out, and G2 are in quarantine for that round. Again, I don't think there's a bad choice in there, but look, considering how hard it's been for either T side to win a bye round,
I mean,
I think I would prefer playing for overtime. But here we are.
I can definitely agree with you there. I mean, also it does just say, hey, we respect you guys, that you're playing so incredibly well. And the thing as well about this is that you can often say that best of ones, variants, all this kind of stuff. But I'm looking at it this way: Vega, obviously, the games we've seen them win, they have played remarkably well. But then, to make this run, if they do actually defeat G2 here, which they have massive advantages and are absolute shoo-ins to do so, they will have run through FaZe and then G2 to do it. That is just, I am without words to describe that.
G2 took a gamble. The gamble did not pay off, and they find themselves with 4 CZs and a bunch of flashbangs and smoke grenades. Would you have it any other way, all things considered? I'm sure their fans would. Vega Squadron are full equipped. They have everything they would want. Surely G2 cannot do this. The aggression continues. Kashanda looking around the smoke and then backing off. No one lurking outside B for the time being. 3 people in B for Vega Squadron, and Mir's keeping an eye on the goings-on in short B, but now rotating, it seems, back towards A. G2 being very careful, taking the map control slowly and surely, but look again how active Vega Squadron are. They've got 2 players in long, they've got a bait set up once again, JR holding the angle, but he's got 2 jobs to do, and then Kashanda's there for support.
Yeah, and you can see the pop flash there so that Kashanda can make a play here, not isolated by the smoke. And that's so brilliant. God. He's pounded everything, hasn't he? He can go in the back here. Oh, that's a very fast headshot from Apex. And another bullet to finish it off. The CZ.
No, he's got the bomb!
And he does manage to survive, though, just barely. But he's not staying out there. He's missing another shot. This is very awkward at the moment.
Apex has got the bomb. What's going on? Does he know he's got the bomb? That's so crazy. He's alone on long. Is he going to push through the smoke? JR's gone down. Maybe it'll just work for them. The shock and awe, they're all over the place. They're swarming like the Zerg army. And Hutchie's alone. They're going to make it work. This force buy is absurd. 4 versus 1. Hutchie has to press some kind of nuclear button to win this one. Oh, are you serious? Okay, bomb went down first. 1 versus 3. There's still only 1 rifle on his 2 players. Hutchie, okay. 1 versus 2 now. He's got all the time in the world. He's got a smoke grenade making his way through. Pre-firing. He's got a 1v1 on Kenny if he can find it. Running out of bullets, so he's got 7 bullets left in the AK. Looking for the headshot, but he's running out the CZ. Somehow he gets it up. How is it still going on? Kenny just dancing around, shocks in the smoke. And we are going to overtime. Holy potatoes.
What the hell's going on? Everyone take a breather. That was quite the ride. What on earth was this round from both teams?
He was flying in the air, Dan. He was airborne.
And the thing is, JR, like, not only does Apex, is he able to win the first 1v1, and then he's just like just fighting against JR.
Look,
he can barely believe it. He's like, guys, I had the bomb on long, by the way. didn't realize.
Like, c'est quoi ça? This is a lost round.
I don't understand. There's no way that he realized that, because if JR had 2 shots at him, if he gets 1 of those kills, his team was already committed to the side push.
Apex is like, I don't know, man. That's some bar salts right there. I don't know what he's doing. Re-peaking multiple times the AWP on long with the bomb.
And that's like the only time we've seen JR.
He's playing in traffic, Dan. He's playing in traffic.
Well, either way, overtime 1. Vega Squadron versus G2 trying to make it work here. Trying to make that 3-0 a dream. First they topple the phase. Can they do it against G2? The story continues here on Overpass for G2 staying on the T side, and an aggression from Vega is how they want to kick things off here as they look in towards the fountain and see nothing.
JR is everywhere. It's great to see a sniper with all the freedom in the world. When do you see a sniper get that angle with 1:30 on the clock? JR is awesome to watch. I didn't even have a GoTV pick, but since we're in overtime, get your eyes on JR. Kashanda, aggressive once again. Now, Vega Squadron don't want to get into the situation where G2 just sit and wait for this aggression and then punish them for it. It is 4 versus 4, however. And we know how active Vega like to be. But they've got very forward positions in the toilets, in long A, JR and Mir. No eyes in toilets, and JR is once again rotating elsewhere. But it seems he might be inclined to go towards B, and he might be right, because there is a pilgrimage in that direction.
And a nice opening has been found. G2 something's off well here. Again, they found so many troubles against the CT side of Vega. But this is certainly a good start. JR, though, lurking around the smoke, finds himself a quick one. 3 more to go, and MBK controls the rotation, and that's now it for JR. Has to back away. You have to be cautious with your money if you're an AWPer in particular on the CT side. If you lose 2 rounds in this format in a row, you won't have enough money for that 3rd round.
I bet Moses was celebrating. Oh, that's a nice shot.
He makes it look very, very easy indeed, doesn't he?
Yeah. There may be no bubbles in the champagne for Moses, depending on how this goes. The first overtime round goes the way of G2. Perhaps they have found themselves some momentum on what seems to be a very unfavourable T side for both teams.
Oh, that's huge. Oh no, that's a disaster. He can get an AWP again, but he won't have many grenades. He's going to have to forfeit the Kevlar if he wants it.
Tactical timeout from Vega Squadron. It is their last timeout of the match. So, better use it wisely. Indeed, the AWP not saved is a problem in overtime. If you're not familiar, it is 3 rounds and a half, and you start with $10,000, considering it's like 6,000 or 7,000 for 1 buy per player on the CT side. But AWP is very expensive indeed, and Vega Squadron won't have one for this round. Okay. Now this is Sedan. Shox has bought a second AWP on the T side. Let's see how it goes.
Not a big fan, but we'll see what they have.
In fairness, I think this is a reliable approach versus CTs who are just constantly pushing to just hold an angle. I think that's the idea behind this, because look again, quite predictably, Kashanda is going for a push. 2 kills very quickly here for G2, and again, there's a fine balance between offering aggression and offering the threat of aggression, as opposed to physically offering it every single round. And because eventually this is what happens. Yeah,
and it's also a thing about unfamiliarity, isn't it? When Vega are playing against a team, like G2 don't have really LAN experience against Vega in particular, so some of the upfront tendencies that you'll be exposed to, well, as the rounds continue to play out, they start to see patterns, they start to see trends, they start to get better at adapting to what exactly Vega are doing, just as you're saying. So the longer this goes on, the more likely it is that G2 will win this, and it maybe could already get that there, because this is a horrible start for Vega at the beginning of this overtime.
At this point, I would like to see Shox swap out for a rifle. I don't think in the 4 versus 3 that the double AWP is longer necessary, and it's still necessary. And at this point, you're looking to execute onto a site where you're probably going to see maximum 2 players. I don't think you want 2 AWPs anymore. Kenny's creeping in towards Monster, but again, Chopper and JR are being active, but they've made the wrong guess. They're going towards the B-bomb site, where Kenny is, and when Kenny is spotted, whether he gets a frag or not, they're going to start charging in. So he has sold them something, and it's looking quite dodgy at the moment. In the meantime, G2 are still walking towards A. You need to start running, boys. Come on.
Yeah, they just saw both players, so they understand now, and there it is. The bomb will be planted in front of the container for toilets, and should be fine here. Vega, there's surely no way that they can win this one, and they have a very hard decision to make. They have no money. If Vega lose this round, they're going to be relegated to pistols. armor and a couple grenades. So there's a really big argument to save, especially considering that JR has an AWP.
Yeah.
And thank God they're going for it, because otherwise, honestly, it's going to be a very bad look in the next round. So in doing so, they'll give themselves a chance. But I do wonder whether or not G2 will go with that double AWP approach again, if they will go and like seek out that additional AWP. Oh, actually, no, sorry, JR picked it up, sorry, I'm silly man.
I think we should have a term, like, believe in the skill, because often you see people selling a fake, but the rest of their team take too long to activate it.
Yeah.
But it's not often you see Kenny faking with an AWP.
Yeah. Over time, and it's...
They've gone for it then. Double AWPs again.
Nice.
But I mean, ultimately, if they think the play works, the money doesn't matter at this point, so why not?
And the thing as well here is that G2 struggled to get T rounds on the in regulation, and now they are flying. So this does not bode well for Vega. Oh, hello. JR will take that every day. An offering of Apex, a sacrifice to the gods of Vega, to the shark gods.
I feel like G2 are unlucky there, because if they're half a second faster, I think they get the kill there. However, maybe they're never half a second faster, and maybe that's the way it will go. 3 CTs in B. Mir, Chopper, Hutchie, just waiting, moving a fair bit. They're both blind. I don't know who threw a flash there. In the meantime, Shox is going towards short B. And for those of you at home, bear in mind, he scoped in earlier on and he walks the entire way, because if he's close here and then he starts scoping, the scope is heard by Mir on the other side of the wall. If he walks from an earlier position and he scopes in, there's no warning until perhaps it is too late. Case in point, there goes Mir.
And now where's the next peak? Body was trying to harass from Monster, and now they know that Shox is still there. And this is really interesting. The bomb is actually down at the moment. They're just trying to frag out a little bit. And now there's 40 seconds left. It's a 3v3. They have to go back for the bomb. They have to start concocting an approach that involves some level of team play, because they are incredibly split at this point. But they can bring together the information. But JR, he's got information and a kill of his own, and that's going to allow himself to be able to, cement the call for his teammates. Guys, it's going to be B, and Vega have a good chance to hold this.
Shox swapped out his sniper rifle for the AK-47, but there is dirt in the water, although that's been cleaned out entirely. 14 seconds for the bomb to go down. JR is trying to get as close as possible while one person is busy planting the bomb, and he makes it. Assuming he's been heard in the water, he'll have to assume that as well. Playing around the smoke, he's got to know somebody's in the sight and stuff. Are you serious? There's no way. There's surely no way.
No way.
Okay. The French are pretty damn happy with that. A clean T-half. 3 match points for them.
Going for that defuse there, that is like the ultimate disrespect play, because it's like you're basically saying, I actually think there's a world where in this like 2v1 that you guys don't kill me when I'm just holding in the smoke. But to be honest, there is a world where that can actually work.
Well, it wasn't looking good. I mean, Shox had his knife out and Kenny was on the P250 trying to spam away.
Yeah.
So
I mean, to be honest, it's actually a gamble that works a surprising amount of times. So I respect that.
I think 1 out of 10 times that works. And I really wish that was the 1 out of 10 times. I would have been so happy, but there we are. It is the French who are happy, and really, this has to be... I mean, Jason might need someone to talk to at this point if G2 are to win this. Because Vega Squadron had the match won, and then CZ.
Yeah, that was really interesting. It's gonna be really fun to listen to what the desk have to say about this game after, because there's been a lot of really interesting spots, and I think a lot of credit has to be thrown to Vega, whichever way you sort of look at this game. And they're not out of it. They're really looking amazing so far. So really, really fun. Let's see if they can get some kind of a comeback into the second half. It's going to be a tough one. G2 seem to have found some answers here. I think they've learned the tendencies. Chopper going for the entry. He's going to be successful. 5 versus 4 with a minute and a half left. You love to see that if you're on a T side.
And again, Chopper instantly rotates towards the monster position, trying to pull, twist, contort the bodies of the G2 players on the B bomb site. He's taken 1 out of action, put them on the hospital bed, on the stretcher. But there's still 2 more entertained. Almost missing the CT aggression of Vega Squadron. G2 with a very different approach. Body will take out Chopper. Body went for a monster push there to get information of his own, but JR has replaced Chopper's position, and they may not expect this. They may rotate towards the A side. It looks like they're doing that. Mir may be selling them. Body and Apex are rotating out of B, and Kashanda and JR are walking in.
And Buddy's spotting, but he doesn't see anything just yet. And everybody's creeping towards the positions. They might just get a bomb down. There is the smoke, and now G2 are going to start to realize beautiful wall of smoke there to cover the bomb plant, and they're going to try to look over the top of the wall with this boost. Apex, though, there's only a certain amount of time they can hold for this, and that is, whilst they're waiting for the rotation of the teammates. But right now, Vega look really good. JR, I have no idea how he hit that one. Beautiful, though.
4 on 3. Clock continues to tick. Do you want to save G2? You need 1 round from 3. Apex moving, and he's committing to this, but will that AWP as well? They're in the side, they're still looking for entries. Hutchie shutting down Apex through Monster. Point of no return as well, being crossed by G2. And it's too late to get the defuse. Kenny cannot escape the site either. All he can do is try to fight. Take out some more players. They're hunting for him, but they know he can't escape. And there it is. Everybody will fall. That's 1 round down, 2 to go for Vega Squadron.
What a game. Again, this is, even though you say, okay, G2 are learning, they're starting to figure out the stuff that Vega are doing, getting sort of accustomed to how they're playing. Vega are just, again, like in fight, their team play is great and they're hitting shots really cleanly. And that is where you would expect, okay, this is where G2 can get the advantage. Just on the individual battles, surely Vega can't be as good over an extended period of time, but so far they're matching up. And a quicker play here from them. Mir trying to be very cheeky indeed, but not allowed by G2.
G2 have gone all in this round. Double AWPs again. There's no money left in the bank. If they lose this round, it's pretty much double overtime unless the CZs come out again and prevail. But they're looking good. 5 versus 3. No way into the site, it seems. And there are still smokes down. JR carrying the bomb. 8 HP. Really has to pick his positions wisely with his AWP. Look at the paranoia, looking towards T spawn, while Chopper tries to get something done towards B, but they've just re-smoked again the CT side. 3 people holding steadfast in the B bomb site. NBK on the high ground. Kenyas in the meantime, keeping an eye on A. Clock is ticking on Vega Squadron.
Desperation really starting to set in, isn't it? It's a very hard spot to play from. They need a massive hero play again, and with everything on the line, at least this is not them being eliminated. Should they lose it, that's a bit of pressure they don't have to worry about. But Kashanda looking to be the one to make the opening. He's the only player that can really create some space. It's too difficult, I think, for Chopper to go for that B peak. Kashanda creeping his way forwards. Can he find a blind spot? He's got some info. I think he was spotted. Kenny ready. Very good positioning here from G2. Not putting anything to chance as JR goes for the last ditch attempt here. Now just Chopper, and 1 by 1 they will be taken down. G2 somehow saving this game from the brink. Unbelievable.
Talk about high pressure situations. I almost think that's the kind of game that G2 needed to get through. I think that does great stuff for them moving forward in this tournament. But Vega Squadron got to keep their focus in the game. They're still in the tournament, but they will feel like they had that one until the CZs came out. The French special, more common than ever gets. And it keeps G2 in